Right now, one of the hottest topics around Ripple is RLUSD and how it stacks up against the competition, especially with big banks rolling out their own stable coins. Then there's Circle with USDC and Tether with USDT. A lot of people think Ripple doesn't stand a chance in this market, but here's where I think things get really interesting. Ripple's stablecoin is fully transparent, compliant, and regulated, which gives it a huge edge. Plus, with Ripple's growing network of institutional players, they're perfectly positioned to offer a stablecoin that can actually be used and trusted in the digital asset space. Ripple has already built an impressive infrastructure, and their stablecoin RLUSD is just another piece of the puzzle. When I think about RLUSD, I honestly believe it has the potential to compete with big names like USDC and USDT, and maybe even surpass them in the future. That said, I've noticed some people pointing out that RLUSD hasn't seen huge adoption yet. It's an interesting discussion. I think it's worth keeping an eye on as things develop. Who knows? RLUSD might just turn out to be a major player in the stablecoin market. If you're serious about XRP or any crypto trading, here's your power move. Sign up to Bybit using my exclusive link below. Not only do you get a welcome bonus, but you'll also help support the channel so we can keep bringing you top tier XRP insights before anyone else. It takes 30 seconds, no KYC for spot trading, and you can deposit XRP directly. It's smooth, fast, and secure. Check that link below and get started now. Don't miss out on those trading bonuses while they last. They couldn't be more off on this one. If we take a look at ROSD on RWA, they're showing a market cap of almost $427 million since, actually closer to $455 million since, when we double check the numbers. That's a big jump, up about 50% in just the last 30 days. Holder numbers are climbing too, up nearly 3% to 32,784. And get this, the monthly transfer volume has skyrocketed almost 100% to hit nearly $2.8 billion. That said, some of the data might not be fully updated. Why? Well, we're hearing chatter about some massive amounts of money moving across networks tied to ROUSD. There's definitely more to dig into here, and I'll break it down in just a second. Let's talk about some of the top old coins for a moment, especially ROUSD. If ROUSD is going to challenge the big players like USDC, it has a ways to go. USDC is sitting at a $61.7 billion market cap, while ROUSD is currently at $455,290,000. That's a huge gap, but it also shows the potential for growth as more people adopt, mint, and use RUSD. What's exciting is the opportunity for RUSD to carve out a space in institutional DeFi and other DeFi use cases. I truly believe RUSD has the potential to really take off in a big way. The exposure it could gain, not just with institutional players, but also with retail users, is massive. There's so much opportunity here for RUSD to make a significant impact on the market. Let's take a moment to explore some key differences between RUSD, USDT, and USDC. When you look at the top stablecoins by value, there's a pretty significant gap compared to RUSD. It's clear we've got some catching up to do, especially when it comes to competing with Circle's USDC market cap. That said, there are some exciting opportunities ahead. With big initiatives like institutional grade adoption, DeFi use cases, tokenization, and even payment solutions tied to stablecoins, the potential for growth is huge. Don't forget, stablecoins have the ability to expand rapidly, sometimes almost overnight when everything aligns. The stablecoin market has been making some huge leaps forward lately, and it's honestly so exciting to see where things are headed. This really feels like the future of finance, something that could truly change everything. And it's also how crypto is starting to go mainstream, which is such a big deal. Before diving deeper into that, though, I want to quickly highlight this post. Ripple's ROUSD stablecoin is now handling $10 billion in daily volume across its entire ecosystem. That's an incredible milestone, and it shows just how much momentum this space is gaining. At first, I honestly thought this was a fake post. Just classic engagement farming from a big account like this one. They do have 509,000 followers after all. But then I dug a little deeper and found the source, Crypto Aries. Now, I actually believe it. It's coming straight from Reese Merrick, a key player at Ripple who focuses on stablecoins. In fact, I've got a short clip from my last video to share more about it. The RUSD stablecoin by Ripple is hitting 10 billion in daily volume. Pretty incredible, right? But here's the thing, what you see on CoinMarketCap or even RWAMD doesn't quite match up. It's way off. Take a look at this video clip to see what's really going on.
But first, let's hear from Reese Merrick, and I have a clip that actually almost nobody has seen. It had under 100 views, and he talks about the numbers, some surprising numbers with the RLUSD. That would be the stable coin that's going to be used for the cross-border remittances. Have a listen.
I think as the cross-border payment world evolves, I think stablecoins are becoming a key part of that. If you think of the total amount of cross-border payments that are made, 50% of them are actually settled in dollars, and a lot of those payments are settled outside of the US. Therefore, being able to settle payments in a USD-backed stablecoin really, get away from some of the inefficiencies that we see in USD cross-border payment settlements at the moment. We launched RLUSD back in the last year. We've seen that move up to 300 million market cap and daily volume of $10 billion. So we're seeing some good traction there.
A lot of this activity is likely happening on Ethereum. If we take a look at RWYA Savi, we can see the numbers right in front of us. Recent monthly transfer volume was around $2,800,000,000, 0 cents. But that leaves us wondering, where's the $10 billion, 0 cents coming from? Honestly, we have no idea. This data tracks both Ethereum and XRP, so it seems like there's some inaccuracy here overall. We can't really rely on what we're seeing from this alone. Even checking RLUSD on CoinMarketCap gives us a more up-to-date picture. The craziest thing about this $10 billion, 0 cents in daily volume is just how massive that is. Think about it. $10 billion, 0 cents every single day. That adds up to almost $3,700,000,000,000, 0 cents a year. And that's just for one stablecoin. Plus XRP and XRPL are heavily involved in this too, which makes it even more exciting. Now, is this 100% accurate? We don't have all the stats on the exact amount of money moving through Ethereum right now, but if Reese Merrick is putting this out there, it's probably happening. I really think this is paving the way for RLUSD to become a top 5 giant. We've been hearing about RLUSD aiming for that top spot for a while now, and it's exciting to see progress. Right now, it would take nearly $2 billion, 0 cents in market cap to get there, compared to the current $455 million, 0 cents. So there's definitely still a lot of work ahead. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to seeing how RLUSD rises to the challenge and what they'll achieve along the way. All right, so let's dive into this for a second. I want to talk about this video clip where Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse mentioned that RLUSD could become one of the top 5 stablecoins by the end of the year. Pretty exciting, right? He also expects the stablecoin market to grow significantly. Now, this was back in March, but I think it's worth bringing up again, especially since we've just seen the case against Ripple essentially get dismissed. Think about it. This case with the SEC is basically over, and the US market is really opening up to stablecoin initiatives and crypto projects based here in the States. So why wouldn't RLUSD gain serious traction and adoption? It just makes sense when you think about it. But hey, let me show you something cool. Check this out.
If you think about the next forefront of stablecoins, now that the US is getting toward clarity, what's possible?
Well, again, I think we're underestimating how big that might get. Today that market's about $230 billion. So I think some smart people think that may go up 10x in the next 5 years. I think that's probably right. I mean, the two leading players in Tether as well as USDC are both, I think, poised to do well in that market. Ripple launched our own stablecoin at the end of last year. That's already ahead of our own internal forecasts in terms of where we are at this point in the year. Still, we're small, but the goal is by the end of the year for RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, to be one of the top 5 in the market by the end of the year. And I think the whole market's going to grow dramatically over this year.
So what does it take you to get there? Who are you pairing up with? Are you creating some financial partnerships in order to make RLUSD more of a household name?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even today we had more listings go live for RLUSD on some global crypto exchanges. Anytime you do something new, it takes a minute for that kind of, if the pun of the ripple effect of seeing how that plays out. And so we're seeing that happen in real time. So I'm really pleased. And again, as I said, we're ahead of our Q1 forecasts of where we expect it to be. So we feel really good about that progress.
So the big question is, how does RLUSD stack up against USDT and USDC? Shout out to Smoke Dog for bringing this up, because we just got our hands on a brand new report from Anchorage Digital Ranks. The verdict: RLUSD comes out on top with stronger regulatory oversight and better reserve management compared to USDT and USDC. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the full report. It includes a stablecoin safety matrix snapshot designed to help institutions minimize risk, plus insights on stablecoin safety. The matrix is based entirely on public disclosures and third-party documentation, providing a snapshot of the stablecoin landscape as of June this year. It's not meant to be a recommendation, but rather a straightforward summary of regulatory and structural characteristics. These factors can help institutions evaluate things like risk, compliance, readiness, and operational fit. Now let's take a look at the stablecoin safety matrix. It's pretty interesting. At number 5, we have PiUSD and USDP. Moving up, RLUSD ranks at number 4. USDT and USDG land at 3.5, while AUSD sits around 2.5. Then at number 2, we've got FDUSD and USDC. Number 4 is about having a strong track record with a US, state, or other prudential regulator, which ties back to regulatory oversight. When it comes to reserve management, the focus is primarily on HQLAs, with bank credit risk reduced through GSIBs or solid equity buffers. We also have the stablecoin safety matrix coming into play here, which is regulated by the New York Department of Financial Services. Essentially, it's reinforcing the same points mentioned earlier, but these measures are all about ensuring stability and security. USDC takes the number 2 spot, with USDT coming in at 2.5. This really highlights how regulatory factors are shaping the market, especially for RLUSD, which is clearly ahead of the competition. Meanwhile, we've got other stablecoins like USDP, PiUSD, and RLUSD making waves. USDG stands out for its strong institutional backing. It operates under clear regulatory frameworks and is supported by high-quality liquid reserves, plus extra safeguards like insurance or equity buffers to handle potential losses. On the flip side, coins like AUSD, FDUSD, USDC, and USDZ carry more structural risks. The good news? Regulatory clarity is starting to take shape, with frameworks like the Genius Act giving the market some much-needed direction. With compliance expectations on the rise, things are getting interesting. Those big banks that have been connected with Ripple for years are now starting to pay closer attention to what Ripple is doing with stablecoins. Suddenly, they're eager to get involved. They're looking to leverage the stablecoin in a big way, all through the XRP ledger. On top of that, RLUSD is set to compete with big players like Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC. Ripple started testing this stablecoin back in August and has been working to get exchanges on board to support RLUSD. It's definitely heating up. The market is already dominated by Tether USD, which holds a huge share of the size and liquidity. But now we're seeing more competition coming in, with RLUSD and other altcoins ready to shake things up. At the bottom line, here's the deal. As the market heats up and investors start shifting toward value-driven incentives, RLUSD's success might depend on offering users attractive returns. One key point to note is that unlike RLUSD, USDC benefits from Circle's own blockchain, which is a big advantage given all the ongoing development on its ledger. That said, I believe this is going to be a big year for XRP. Ripple has a unique edge by offering both the XRP Ledger blockchain, the Rails, and the RLUSD token, the Train, to facilitate seamless cross-border payments for businesses. This positions Ripple to provide an all-in-one solution without needing to rely on partnerships with other providers like Circle's previous collaboration with MoneyGram. When it comes to Circle, it's primarily focused on P2P payments. But when we think about Ripple's complete package, it stands out as a game changer in this space. So here's the big picture for XRPL and RLUSD. It's all about XRPL becoming the bridge between RLUSD and other stablecoins, all happening right on the XRP ledger. Pretty exciting, right? We're talking institutional grade liquidity pools, payment use cases for businesses, and even retail use cases. The potential here is huge, especially if these networks are packed with super liquid stablecoins. Oh, and don't forget, USDC is on its way to the XRP ledger too. The XRP ledger is officially live, and that's exciting news. Whether we're talking about Ripple or Circle, there's no denying that both are hugely successful players in the space. Competition aside, I'm confident we'll see some major upgrades and updates to the XRP ledger soon. These improvements will likely make room for even more stablecoins, expanding what the network offers. With so many great stablecoins already on board, there's no need to stress about competition like Ripple's RLUSD. At the end of the day, when it comes to stablecoins, it's clear we're heading toward a multi-currency, multi-chain future. That said, networks like the XRP ledger and projects like XRP are set to benefit in a big way. Why? Because of the strong institutional grade connections tied to XRP and the XRPL through Ripple. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this, especially now that the lawsuit is behind us. Plus, adoption is picking up momentum, which is exciting to see.